And on this episode of Down with the Ship, we have this from Fandom Pulse. IDW Publishing, Heather Anto signals she's part of the Pride community to promote a Star Trek Celebrations Pride Month book. I didn't even know this existed at all. I didn't even know this company existed until right now. Because it's comic books. Comic book industry is dead in the water. Unless you're Eric July, the comic book industry is not doing well right now. The independents are really, really doing well, but certainly not this group right here. Now, let me just kind of quickly dive into why this is going to be a terrible idea. Why this entire book series is a terrible idea. Right now on Amazon Prime, I'm watching Sanford & Son. At no point of watching Sanford & Son do I feel like this show is not for me. At no point do I think, nope, I am not the target audience here. Also, I'm watching a show called Benson that's on Roku right now. At no point of watching Benson do I feel that this show is not for me. I do not understand this show. This show is not written for me at all. One of my favorite superhero franchises is the Blade series. At no point of watching Wesley Snipes kung fu all these vampires have I ever felt is not for me. Jackie Chan movies, Jet Li movies, Sigourney Weaver alien movies. At no point of any of these franchises or shows or video games did I ever feel like it was not made for me, that I would not understand it and I would not like it because I don't identify these characters. But when you're making a book series, a comic book series, that is targeted for a tiny, tiny percentile of people, and all you're doing is pushing this one trait, you are bound to fail. Have I ever listened to an Elton John song and said, no, I can't listen to this because this guy does not align with my ideologies? Have I ever listened to Queen and say, no, I can't possibly listen to this song because this guy is this way? Watching Netflix's Single All the Way, one of the best movies that company has ever made, did I ever feel like, no, this movie's not for me? The Birdcage, one of my top 50 movies of all time, did I ever feel like that movie wasn't made for me? No, not even close. Because they were all fantastic products that just so happened to have characters that were not like me. And you know what? That didn't bother me for a single solitary second. But when you make a series, when you want to make a comic book that only does this one thing, that only cares about this one aspect, again, a tiny percentile, what do you expect? Do you possibly think that this series is going to do well? What would be better? Just hear me out here. What would be better if you made a franchise that had characters that just so happened to be a certain way? Wouldn't that be better? Like in the show Gotham, randomly the Penguin was in love with the Riddler. That wasn't the essence of the show. That wasn't the reason the show was created. That was just a fun little side quest. A little character development that played into the story a little bit, but didn't overpower it. It didn't change the Penguin entirely. It just made him have a crush on the Riddler, and he wanted to explore it. And when he was rejected, look what happened. It was fun, and it was good, and it worked. And most importantly, it did not preach to me for a single solitary second. It did not shame me for not consuming it. And it did not gaslight me like I was a fool. This right here is only made to do those things. It's only made, again, to ostracize people. It's only made for them. And that's it. And that is why this product is going to fail. As it should. Because it wants to segregate. And I think that's a really, really wrong thing to do. And throughout my entire life of watching movies and shows and reading comic books, at no point ever of picking up any of these things did I ever feel like this product was not for me. So what do you guys think about that? You think that this comic book series is going to thrive. You think it's going to be the highest grossing ever. More importantly, as I look through this article, this company is not doing well. It says IDW Publishing has been in dire straits in recent times, delisting from the stock exchange while laying off more than 40% of its workforce. 40% of the people that worked for this company are now gone because they wanted to go down this route. They cut their entire creator-owned line in a blow to the independent comics, and during that time, Heather was promoted to the head of their licensing group. She's the problem, guys. She is the problem. Right there, you have your scapegoat. This woman here has no idea what she's doing because she only wants to promote one thing and one thing only. And that's not a good way to sell anything to anybody. Because comic books, movies, shows, and other products should be made for everyone. And the best products of all time have all the diversity and inclusion in it, and do not for a single second shove it down your throats that people are different. The original Star Trek show, black, Asian, white, not a problem. No one cared. Great series, everyone loved it. Now they do that, ostracizing their audience, shaming them on social media, pandering, gaslighting, all that. Paramount in the toilet right now. Star Wars in the toilet, caring about these ideologies, and that's it. The whole acolyte is made for this one ideology. Why would you do that? Why would that be the focus of your show? Can't you just go out there and make the best product you can possibly make, and just so happen to have characters that are this identity? And that's one of the biggest problems with content creation today by all these companies. They have gone away from focusing on making a good product to pandering and activism. And that is why they are all failing at the exact same time. So what do you guys think about that? You think that this comic series... Why am I even asking this question? We all know it's not going to work. This company is already hemorrhaging money. It's laid off 40% of its people. This woman's the head of everything there, and it ain't working right. What do you guys think about that?